Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the pros and cons of getting married abroad. And I've got a little helper with me. Say hi, Alipe. Say hi, everyone. Today is a new day. If you guys watched my last vlog, you'll know why we chose Morocco as our wedding destination. If you haven't yet seen it, click the link above and definitely catch up and check it out. Controlling the numbers. My parents have about 15 brothers and sisters between them, and my aunt and uncles, they had kids, and some of their kids have kids. And when you add it up, I have a huge freaking family. Although Dan hasn't got a massive family, he kind of makes up for it in the amount of friends that he has. If we were to have the wedding here in the UK, we were looking at catering for about 200 people, if you can believe it. Yes, darling, 200 people. People often take the tactic to maybe not invite kids and whatever to reduce numbers, but yeah, Dan and I just didn't really know how to have those conversations. So we were like, yeah, great, let's have it abroad. And then the guest list kind of chose itself, you know. The cons of that, of course, is that not everyone can make it. And although that's great, because it means your guest list is smaller, there are some really important people in our lives that we're gutted to say couldn't make it to our wedding because it's in Morocco. True to say that both Dan and I suffered losses on both of our sides, and we love you and we wish you could be there, but you know, we also want to get married in Morocco. The next thing is mahane, kahuna. Dollar bill, y'all. Yes, the big green monster of course had a part in our decision to take the wedding abroad. In the UK, there's wedding tax on everything. As soon as you mention you're having a wedding, the prices are inflated. You know, a lot of places won't let you bring your own food, and coming from a Caribbean family, we want, you know, curry goat and rice and jerk chicken at our weddings. Some of those options were really limited, and unless you pay extortionate amounts of money for huge spaces to cater for huge amounts of people, a wedding in the UK for us just wasn't practical. And the truth is, the pound can go a lot further in some countries abroad. So it's kind of worth doing your research and exploring that. That's not to say that everywhere is cheaper. We did look into having our wedding in Italy and in France, and some of these European, like Western European places were actually really expensive, sometimes even more expensive than the UK. And then of course, if you're going to like the Caribbean or somewhere else, like, again, you know, travel expenses and costs can add up. But be smart with it, do your research, and maybe you can save yourselves a little bit of money by taking your wedding abroad. When you're at home and you have weddings here, it's for one day, and you have one crazy day where all of your family come from whatever corners of the world or country they are, and they all get together and they have a great time, and then it's over. And Dan and I, our families are so different and so far apart. Most of mine are in London, a lot of Dan's are in sort of southwest England and the Midlands, and literally I think our family have met like once in the 6.5 years we've been together, and that was for Alipe's baby shower. How can we be joining two families together when they don't even know each other, you know? So one of the pros of taking your family abroad for a wedding is that everyone gets a chance to spend time together. And in our case, it's going to be 3 nighs marooned in a hotel in the middle of the Atlas Mountains. So super, super remote, and people have kind of got no excuse but to mingle. The wedding destination can totally double as your honeymoon destination. Save money on flights, you'll save money on, you know, the hassle and madness of trying to transfer everywhere, packing twice, traveling twice, trying to find childcare again. Like, all of that is kind of mitigated and tied into one neat little trip. Dan and I are deciding to stay on in Morocco for our honeymoon, and we're only spending a few nights just to kind of take time to let it all sink in. And it's kind of nice not to have to, you know, worry and decompress back at home and like have the day-to-day stresses of our home life in between going on our honeymoon. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about when it comes to getting married abroad is thinking about the legalities. And this is kind of a con of getting married abroad, because not all places are licensed for you to be married in, and there are lots of paperwork and various other things that you need in order for your wedding to be legally recognised in the UK. Now, I'll put a link below to the UK government website, which will totally help you get your head around the paperwork that you need if you're getting married abroad. But bear in mind, you cannot get married legally everywhere. The venue has to be licensed, and of course you need to have a licensed registrar or an ordained minister present to validate your commitment and your wedding. So Dan and I have kind of gotten around this. Hold on, I just want my cooking. I nearly burnt my beetroot, so I'm glad that I checked on that. Back to legalities. Instead of navigating all of that madness, Dan and I decided to have our big wedding blessing in Morocco, but to do all the legalities back here in the UK.
Oh, mummy, bride to be. Is that funny?